drawing of a proposed planter design for a stated location. So basically, you have to design a planted arrangement to go in a particular room. That's basically what the assignment is, yeah? So the first part is you have to choose the room. Now this is your choice. You can get a picture of a room off of the internet. You can use a room in your house. It's completely fictional. Doesn't have to actually exist. But it does have to be viable, like, you know, it can't be completely there's no point doing like a hotel room in Jamaica or something because it's not going to be relevant to like our client out here and things, yeah? So basically you have to choose a room and you have to get a picture of the room. So I have got Elaine's assignment when she did this at the front, which I do recommend you all come and have a look at. But she just chose a picture of a room off of the internet. So basically, she just got a picture of a room in the internet there and stuck it on the assignment. Now, what you have to do then is you have to say where the design is going to go in the room. So, basically, whatever design you choose, where are you going to put it in that particular room? And then you have to go on, right, so that's it. So number one, that is it. Choose a room, and why have you chosen that room? Get a picture of the room, and say where the design will go in the room. Yeah? That's it for part one. Nice and simple, yeah? So then part two is you have to state the environmental conditions within the room. So basically, what is the room like? So what is the temperature in the room? What are the light levels? Yeah, so what the temperature in the room, the light levels, draft, all bits and pieces like that, yeah? So think about all the environmental pictures in there. And you literally just have to put, Elaine has just done it like in subheadings here, which is quite a good, clear way of doing it. You literally just have to put what the temperature of the room is going to be, what kind of light it gets during the day, you know, drafts that may come into the room, bits and pieces like that, yeah? So just discuss what the room is like. Remember, this is all about the environment, so I don't really want to hear about where furniture is in the room. I want to hear about the environmental factors. So like, if it's by windows, if it's by radiators, think of heat, light, drafts, things like that, yeah? Then you have to produce a sketch of your design. Okay, so you're not actually going to have to make this design, but you do have to sketch it. Okay? So after you've sketched it, you then have to say what plants you've chosen and why. Now when I say why on it, like I think a lot of you did this for your maintenance assessment anyway, but we want a picture of each individual plant, just a small picture of it. Then you're going to write about the plant itself, yeah? So the why is going to be what the plant's needs are. So why is that plant suitable for that room? So that's where you're going to talk about the lights, the temperature, and the watering of each individual plant. Okay? And remember, because they're all going in the same design, all of these plants should all have similar light, temperature, and water levels, yeah? So a good way to think of that, if you're going to look in like plant books, it's probably good to think of plants that come from the same families. So, you know, sort of maybe sticking to all succulents or all spring bulbs. That's going to, if you try to mix seasons, you're going to come, it's going to be quite difficult to have them all grow well together. So try to either think of seasonal availability or actual plant groups. There's loads of plant books over there, so if you wanted to today go over and just get a list of bits and pieces, that's fine. You also have to talk about what container you're going to put them in. Okay? And, I mean, I don't need to know too much about the container. Just simple pictures will be fine, like these. Just simple pictures of the container, but then do talk about the drainage as well. Okay, so how you're gonna drain excess water from the plants. That is it for part 2 then. Is everybody clear on parts 1 and 2?
When you've got to do a sketch of the design, but is that just the one sketch? You haven't got to sketch each individual?
No, just a picture of each plant. So each plant you use, just a little picture, write about it, like the light, temperature, watering, for each individual plant. But the sketch is only for the overall design. Yeah?
How many plants have you got to use?
Up to you. It's up to, I mean, that would come into like your container and where you're putting it in your room really. If you're doing like a big sort of hotel foyer or something, then obviously you've got to think quite big. If you're doing a front room, then it's smaller, yeah? So the amount of plants is up to you really, yeah? But I would think that there would have to be at least a minimum of 4. To get a pass grade, you'd have to discuss at least 4 different plants. Is everyone else okay on parts 1 and 2?